I was watching a stream today on Ellie's channel, Ellie Minibot. She's a Twitch streamer. She's great. She's really intelligent person who happens to have autism. I guess, like, I don't know to what degree, though. It seems that she's like high functioning and she seems like a regular person. Something else to note is that she had um, you know, um, she seems emotionally mature, and let me tell you why. Today, she had this stream, or this evening, she had this stream where she was talking to her best friend Bo. His name is Your Average Bo on Twitch, and he's one of those guys who I feel like I reflect a little bit, just the fact that he's very nonsensical in the best ways, as like a comedic bit, but he means well a lot of the times. Something that they went over um, during the stream is that he is a not polite guy, but he is a kind person in accordance to what Ellie said. So they were talking about something in particular that I can't remember quite the details of because I was preoccupied with something else that I was doing, like playing some game. And what happened then was I think Bo was talking about Ellie being like a robot of some kind, and how um, be, I guess I should preface that Ellie's like kind of persona is like she is a robot of some kind. And so they're just talking, having a good time, and all of a sudden Bo talks about how she acts like a robot, and for some reason, according to Ellie, she said that she kind of took it to heart and couldn't really understand in that moment. So the thing is, Bo, of course, in when he means well when he does this, but he doubles down saying like, "Oh, she's an AI, ha ha ha, he ha ha," all in good fun, of course. And to that, Ellie said bye to the stream, and so she cut the stream, and there were just a few minutes of basically her being offline. Um, and sooner or later, she came back doing another stream saying, "Hey, I know this is what happened, and let me tell you what was going on internally." So internally, I was feeling that I was taking it very personal, whatever he said. Um, I think it was also due to the fact that um, maybe there was like some kind of like relation to autism, or they got connected somehow, and she just took that idea to heart. I didn't quite catch the beginning of when she came back up to stream again a few minutes later, but she was basically saying that um, she felt that it was targeted at her, and she didn't take it to fault with Bo or anything like that because she knows Bo, and they've been friends for a while, and no, she knew that she meant well, and the reason why she cut the stream is because she actually had to step away and kind of figure out what was going on internally, like why she felt the whole thing was like why she felt personal about it and stuff like that, why it was very hurting for her. And something I noticed is that there's not many people I know who's like very emotionally mature about that. Um, and she takes it very well. She says that she's not, she doesn't hold anything against Bo or anything like that, or people who have that kind of similar sentiment of certain things, because she says that a lot of times um, misunderstands things and overthinks things. So she tends to give people the benefit of the doubt, which is very nice of her. And I just wish that the stream was still up so that I could download it, record it, because she said a lot of wise things during that moment. But a lot of it came down to the fact that she didn't know how to communicate the idea that, hey, this is like kind of affecting me a little bit. Is it okay if we just drop it, kind of thing? Because she knows that with the community she built, the chatters, and with Bo especially, whom she has like an actual like strong friendship with, that they would definitely stop given if she was able to bring it up and tell them. So she says that it was one of the things that she's very, very poor at, but I'm just happy to see that she's someone that can notice that very quickly, because there's a lot of people who were never trained or never came to understand what that feeling was. That being said, it kind of came down to me thinking about it a little bit, and this is kind of after the fact, where she was like, she was very aware of her emotions. And that's what I'm kind of trying to do right now. I think that's what I've been trying to do over this past year, because something I figured out in this past year was that I noticed a lot of my emotions more than I did previously. Because back then I would just feel those emotions and then, I don't know, somehow acted on them right away. But nowadays I come to a point where I've noticed those things, and I'm able to stop myself or pause and think about them. Something else I would do is I now tend to, like Ellie, feel like there's like she's misunderstanding something, like I'm misunderstanding something. So the way I would kind of mend that situation is I would take it as a joke and then double down on the joke on myself. If it's like a I don't know if you call it a self-deprecating thing, but I feel like people who have that idea but put it in a more jokingly way are more comfortable with revealing that fact about themselves and tend to make the situation more light. That's somewhere where I want to be, I think. Because I know I'm doing it a lot more now, and I want to make sure I stay there. I don't know if I'm doing well enough yet. I'm coming to a point now where I can kind of explain myself a little bit better. I think it's just due to the fact that I'm what was I gonna say? I guess it's due to the fact that I can give context now. This is a different branching thing that's somehow related, but I watched this video of the idea of giving more context so that there's better explanations and stuff like that. I'm still dabbling with that idea. So it's my kind of mentality, or my whole situation about it is not perfect for sure, but it's interesting to see kind of in real time how that situation was, because you never really think about that situation until you can actually like sit down or sit back and think about it. Usually when it happens to other people, you tend to like brush it off and not really think about it, but for this particular situation, it just seemed to grab my attention, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to download it and figure out what happened there. So, but again, with the kind of giving context and stuff like that, I figured that in that kind of process, you come to understand that you can communicate um, more efficiently, and it leads to a lot of cooperation, or lack of cooperation. Um, but if anything, clarity. I think clarity goes a really long way, and not a lot of people know how to do something like that. And again, it's not really their fault due to the, or I will say that it's a toss up if it's their fault or not, just because some people are either trained in it or they choose to not take that path. Um, so I just want to kind of make a video about this just so that I can think about this more, think on it some more, and make sure I don't forget. That's what these videos are mostly about. It's just the idea that I'm posting these things and they're all for me personally to come back to and kind of portray or explain what I've learned. So another thing is that after thinking about that and like this whole like explanation and or like giving context and communication and stuff like that, I'm just thinking that, man, I would love to come to know somebody who I can really connect with and have that kind of thing, because I guess what I'm looking for is like probably a relationship kind of thing, but I think that's something I still need to work out, because if you need kind of a relationship or something to kind of help understand that, instead of you know figuring it out on your own, then it kind of leads to issues later on. So that's about it, and I'll go from there.